Good morning, Jackrabbit Club, and welcome to our weekly video for Saturday, August 19th, 2017. We're going to get right into it. No real commentary needed. The markets are selling off, and now it's time for us to go to work and take some of our positions off based on our process, based on what we've gone over for the past few weeks, based on how we set our stops, our process of taking half off, taking out the entire position. We're going to go through each and every one of them. Before we do that, I want to just go through the portfolio, and you can see here we have sorted all of our positions, and again you can see mine's a little different just because I have multiple accounts for me, my wife, my kids, everything like that, but you can see how we've ranked the percentage gain. Okay, so here you have our biggest winner, UNH, 29%. Our smallest loser, or our biggest loser, I guess, would be 4.29%. And again, I just want to reiterate, this is how you continue to let the winners run and cut the losers short. It's it's not, I don't want to say it's simple, but it doesn't have to be complicated. So I know for a fact we're going to get out of half of our position at UNH. I think we're going to get out of half the position in HIG based on what I looked at, but we'll double check that when we look at the chart. And we're going to definitely get out of our full position in GLW. All right, so let's take a look at the markets and then let's see, or the charts, and let's see what we're going to actually do here moving forward. So let's go first into one account. Okay, so Amazon we got in on this nice breakout. We took some profits. All right, so again, it's important to understand that when you get a little bit of a gift, you have to take those profits. All right, so we had a nice gap up on earnings, I think it was, or a run up into earnings. We took those profits. Stop was trailed, and sure enough, now stop is hit. All right, so I know it's Amazon. Everybody loves Amazon. I'm not saying it doesn't go higher, but for our process and my portfolio, my real money, I'm taking the rest of the money. All right, so looks like trading 958. I think I have about, looks like I have about 4 shares left. 4 times, was that $60, $70? All right, so I'll take the other $280 off the table, and my whole profit on the trade was about $800. All right, so it's just simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. Get your emotions out of the way. Yes, it's Amazon. Yes, it's the best company ever. Whatever. It's breaking down, and it's going to lose you money. AVGO, all right, continues to just chop sideways in this upper range. We can remove this. All right, and we'll just extend this over. Okay, so it just continues to consolidate, and really not much else you can do. You can just wait for it. One of the reasons that I do like trading some of these names with a dividend is just for this reason. We're still getting paid the dividend to sit in the trade. Oh yes, it's not much, but 1.64 I'm sure is a lot more than what you're getting in your savings account in your bank. Obviously you're taking on some risk, I understand that, but just by going sideways for a little bit, you're still making some money. Berkshire B, all right, just continues to kind of chop around. This week actually moved higher on the week after closing at 175.33 last week. This week closing about $4 higher. So nothing to do here in Berk B, but we will see what happens. If it starts breaking either end of this larger candle, you can see it's another inside week of this candle. So this is another form of consolidation that we really don't touch on very often, but you have this huge move. It's very common that you may just see some chopping around inside the body of that candle. Again, just another form of consolidation. COL, all right, we got in, had a huge breakout higher, all right, and then just really hit that 128 area, pulled back, then pulling back a little bit again. So nothing to really read into this. We actually got into this because we couldn't get into Charter, which had the huge gap up and a pullback, and you could see Charter doing something very similar to most of the market and just going sideways. So that's the reason we did not we kind of pulled an audible last minute on a Monday morning and had to get into another trade in COL because Charter had gapped up so much on some kind of news. Microsoft continues to just move higher. I'm looking at these two wicks right here, all right, 1 and 2, as a potential area of some support. You could see pull back, rally, pull back, rallied up, pull back, rallied up, pull back, rallied up, went higher, pull back. So what are we doing in here? We're really just consolidating, right? I'm sure if we zoomed in on the daily chart, you would see just a typical consolidation. So that's something I'm watching as a potential area to trail stops higher. Again, I would want to see a breakout over 75. If not, stop stays around 68. Raytheon, all right, we've been talking about moving the stops to previous week's lows. This week we're going to do it again. Even though we closed lower, it's still a higher low from last week's low. And if we break that low, we're going to take half the position off. All right, take half that position off, and let's see what happens. But we're getting into this period where we continue to make higher highs and higher lows, or more importantly, higher lows every week. And that's what we're going to use to just monitor and take some of that position off. And speaking of taking some of the position off, we've done the same in UNH. Okay, you can see we've just trailed to lows, right? Never got a closing low below the previous week's low. All right, let's rephrase that. Never got a close below the previous week's low. Okay, you can see here we came down below this low, but we closed back above it. Same here, we came down below that low, closed above it. All right, continues, and now sure enough, here we are. And what are we going to do? Well, we're going to just follow our process, and we're going to take half that position off the table. All right, so far, Amazon taking the rest off, UNH taking half off. All right, let's go over to the other account. All right, BBY. Breaking down. All right, this has a slight concern to me, these two topping tails right around that 61 area. So this is something I'm monitoring, but again, I'm not trying to be smarter than the market. I just want to see what happens as we come back into this range. Do we actually make it all the way back to 53, or do we consolidate in an upper range and then look to break out again? DHI has done nothing since we've entered. It's literally gone sideways. The good news is here is if we actually go ahead and break out again over, let's say, 37.25, we have a pretty well-defined support area and consolidation in place that we could look to trail stop to and then add to our position. EA, all right, similar situation, has done nothing since we've entered, nothing to really look at there. FedEx, I'm liking maybe the potential of this, or I was liking the potential of this being like a reversal, a pullback, but we didn't close above 209, which would have been a previous week's high. But again, we could always look at those pullbacks as areas to potentially trail stop to as well. GLW, it looked good for so long, and we had one bad week of earnings, and then sure enough, boom, boom, boom. So what are we doing? We're exiting the position, as we said, for that small 4% loss, all right, and just moving on. HIG, all right. So we got to zoom in pretty tight here. Let's see, the low was 55.59, and we closed at 55.56. So 3 pennies on that trade. So that's a decision you're gonna have to make. 3 pennies for me. 3 pennies. I'm gonna just stay with it. If it closes below again, then I'll take half off. Okay. So sometimes you got to know when to break the rules. I'm not one that comes down to pennies. That's not my style. But you know, it technically is a break of the previous week's low. So if you want to stick by the process, buy the book 100% of the time, then there you go. You're breaking down. The other thing to look at here is This is technically a bullish engulfing, or I'm sorry, a bearish engulfing pattern. So you have the body of this candle, all right, that rectangle part, and then this one actually opened above it and closed below it. So it's almost like it's eating the previous candle, and that's usually not a good sign. But you know, again, I'm gonna just stay in it because 3 pennies for me is not worth getting out of that trade just yet. ICE has gone sideways, consolidating really just since we've entered. ITW, all right, so again, we took the trade here, added to that position, then we took half off at this move here, and it proved to be the right decision, and now I'm going to take the other half off on the breakdown. All right, so we made 596 on the first position, and then we're going to make about, what is that, $7, 7 times 28, say $350, something in that range, on the second. And again, you know, if we would have held the entire position through here, would you have made more? You'd have to do the math. I would think not, but you know, we'll see what happens. But that's just the way I manage my trades: half off and the other half. JPM again has gone sideways since entry. Nothing to really do there. Netflix continues to break down. I'm glad we took half off on that nice pop on earnings, but continues to just break down. I'm looking for it to at least find some kind of support at the previous resistance, which would be around 165. Right now, stop 147. So we got to figure out some place in here to trail the other half to, but we'll see what happens. And last but not least, Tesla. All right, reversal signal that we got. We added. Looked like maybe we were gonna continue moving higher. Now I'm concerned that we're actually putting in a lower high. All right, so that's a concern right now. Is that is that we moved up, breaking down, lower high, breakdown. All right, so that's something that we have to be aware of, especially with this candle pattern right here. This is a gravestone doji. It's confirmed by the move lower. All right, so gravestone doji essentially means you moved up, didn't have enough buying power to support that move, got sold off. So that's why you get the very flat rectangle, the very flat body of the candle. And confirmation of that is a breakdown below the previous low and a close there, and we did that. So again, just concerned that maybe a trend is starting to change, and maybe we're doing something more along these lines now. All right, so again, just something to monitor and pay attention to. All right, so that's it. So again, let's see. Let's go back to that monitor tab. Let's go to all our positions. All right, so UNH, we're going to close. All right, we'll close UNH. Best Buy, we're good. Microsoft, we're good. Netflix, we're good. Raytheon, remove stop. That one, we're good. Good. HIG, you can take half off if you want. ITW, we're exiting. AVGO, we're good. ICE, good. FedEx, good. DHI, good. JPM, good. EA, good. Tesla, good. And GLW. All right, so we're going to exit GLW too. Go through your trades, manage them how you need to, but hopefully this is helpful on how I do it with a very simple process. To be honest with you guys, this is the first time. Actually, I looked real quick last night, but I just went through that in real time. I haven't looked at the markets all week. I've been crazy busy. So, you know, until really, what's 10:19 right now, until about 9:15, I hadn't seen what we were doing, and I did it all with you in real time. So that just goes to show you that, you know, with making the videos and everything, you can manage a portfolio in probably 20-25 minutes and do it successfully. So hope you guys enjoy this one. Any questions or comments, let me know, and we'll see you next week. Take care.